He loads me up, and then he's like, oh, I'll get a little bit more. And he loads me up again, and the rubber just got lower and lower. And I don't usually do that.
Actually, you got me. You got more.
I live in the ghetto. Gunshots every night. Because he shot across the road.
That would get me arrested.
Well, now this guy, which was on Sunday night, driving around and pulled into the driveway and shot at the house.
Was his wife in there with another guy?
We run the neighborhood. Watch my back.
Wanna borrow my clock?
I got my own.
How's business?
Is he still in
I walked by Jeff Wells. Hey, Jeff Wells. He said, hey, Joe Salzman. What did I just call you? But it hasn't been that long, Jeff. It's been a year. I know your name. Where is Jeff Wells?
He said Brandon's coming. I said, oh, I'm see. Oh, really? I said, I'd rather see. How you doing? I go back. I go back home. Always full of wisdom and advice.
white concurrence? You know what?
Joe take it, then I come to the song.
Yeah. That's a
Okay, thank you. His eyes didn't necessarily convey that message,
I wasn't even going to call you out on that.
but I saw it right. It was there. It was there. I'm gonna get back over here.
That's almost like college and Mr. Prince. Yeah.
Almost.
You hate to shut down all this networking and fellowship, but that's why we exist, right? We do need to get started. We got lots to cover today in our program. Serving as your humble servant for 2015 as president of the chamber. I want to welcome you out this morning on this first morning. Thank you for deciding to spend your time with us and to break some bread. We'd like to acknowledge some dignitaries. First, Matt Butter, a jailer. You want to stand, and your staff. acknowledge him. Say thank you. Judge Mitchell Nance, family court judge. Judge, how you doing? Mark Lloyd, are you here this morning? From Representative Jeffrey's office. See Mark? But he's a good guy. Senator State Senator David Gibbons, I did see him. Senator Jim DeCesare. Chrissy Cole Fields, our circuit clerk. Where's that? Sorry. We have Mayor Dwayne Hatcher from Cave City and his staff. Thank you for coming. Chief James Duff from the Glasgow Police Department. Would you stand? Any of your staff here, would they stand also?
Captain Arthur Gass, Captain Charlie Lowry, Major Eddie Lindsay, and P.O.
Would you remain standing for 1 second, please? Chief Atwood, would you? And your staff. I just want to say a special thanks to these people who work hard to protect the citizens and people of this community and for the risk you take on our behalf. Thank you. We have Rodney Kirkley with Brad. We'd like to recognize him. Thank you, Rodney. Okay, thank you to all the chamber members, and we could go on and recognizing people. We just once again thank you for coming out this morning. First up, I want to introduce the chairman of our Business Development Committee, important committee, and he's got some business to take care of. Would you welcome Wes Roy?
The small business of the quarter for the first quarter of 2015 needs no introduction. When we get together for these meetings, it's pretty much a celebration in our community, and we have a lot to be proud of here in Barron County. And if you look around and you see what makes us different and frankly better is than other surrounding communities is that we have a lot. We have new buildings coming up. We have a new spec building coming up. We have a state-of-the-art health pavilion and so many other buildings that give Glasgow its brand. And we're a small town with a lot to offer. And we're a proud town, and we're proud of Alliance Corporation. Alliance Corporation offers construction and design and build services across Kentucky and Tennessee. And they have additional offices in Prestonsburg and Bowling Green. And the company started as a small local construction company founded by Mr. Tommy Gum in 1975. Tommy is now the CEO of Alliance Corporation. President, Tim Geegan, Executive Vice President, and Matt Gum. 1975, here's a statistic for you. Alliance Corporation has managed over $1 billion, B-I-L-L-I-O-N, billion dollars in construction projects. So not only does Alliance, they're also very well respected throughout the region and through among their colleagues. So it is an honor to present the Small Business of the Quarter Award to Alliance Corporation.
Good morning. I know everybody's here. Great attendance. Glad that you all showed up today for us, or it might be these two individuals sitting at the table. So, guys, I won't take any of your thunder or any of your speeches. So, of course, very familiar with a lot of these these people sitting, sends his regards. He's actually in Breckenridge County today. He and Tim, one of our other partners, selling a job. So they couldn't be here this morning, but on behalf of Alliance, our employees, we like to thank Glasgow very 45 projects in this community, and I'd like to name each one of them, but we don't have time for that. But that's anything from both school systems to city and county government, hospitals, industries, churches, the list goes on, and we're very part of this community and everything that we can do. 3 months from today, we will celebrate our 40th anniversary, and it's something we're very proud of, to have been in this community and thriving in this community for 40 years. Of course, Tommy and Tim aren't here. Brandon is actually in town. Brandon Akers, he's our president. He's from Prestonsburg. He's not here. We thought we might get him in this morning, but he's a little road weary from driving back and forth from Prestonsburg. But the people who are here, if y'all would stand for a second, I'd like to, our group of people, we've got 12 employees here. A lot of times you see Tommy and I at events, sort of our backbone of our operation and how we operate, and I just want to say thank you to all of y'all. And thank you to the chamber for
I thought the crowd was attributable to me. Okay, we want to thank and recognize our sponsor for today's breakfast. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Today's sponsor for this time, we'd like to bring up Keith. Would you come up and say a few words, please?
Today's an exciting day for, like you, excited for and the opportunity to hear a vision for our community. We're especially proud to be here among friends as we celebrate 150 years of service to our community and kick off the year-long celebration of our sesquicentennial. I won't be long, like Matt, because our honored guest today. I do want to introduce our team that's with us today. If you all would stand up. And our managers, Daniel Pike, Cindy Green, Michelle Kopus, Kristen Roderick, advertising and content team, Stephen Wilson, Lori Decker, Gabrielle Hayes, Sherry Powell, Katie Beatty, and from our content team, Lisa Simpson-Strange, James Brown, Scott Wilson, Overstreet, Bobby Hayes, Martha Thomas, Bureau Chief Ronnie Ellis. We're glad to have all of these folks here and all of these folks at work telling your story. Thank you for the work that you all do. There are a few more that are part of our team that are out making sure all that Ernie did to make sure the weather was good so we could be here today and you could get a newspaper here today as well. Our collective commitment of our team is to continue to tell your stories and serve our community. It's what we. That's an improbable run when you think about the nature. Mr. Nicely quoted Barry Bingham to me often. He told me you have to have half the people mad at you at all the time. And when you think about that in the context of what we do and the stories we sometimes tell, 150 years is a pretty amazing run. gave us of his falling out with his great friend Michael Jordan. Barkley had made some comments that were not viewed favorably by Jordan of his tenure as owner of an NBA club. He said, "Your job is to be an analyst, not to protect your friends." Figured out what Bingham nicely figured out years and years ago, that you have a job to do and stories to tell, but loving someone and loving the community and loving the work is all essential to that success. Once in a while, though, even among those challenges and the challenges of the New World Order, powerful reminders come along that remind us about the importance of the voice. And lately there have been two that have been national, even worldwide news. One is people who stood together at Christmas time. The voice of a Hollywood film would not be silenced by threats of violence and terror, and that freedom of expression and the freedom of people to make and see that movie was a right that is powerfully important in our country. And then most recently, tried to silence the voice of Charlie Hebdo and killed 12 people for expressing free speech in Paris and France. The people of Paris came and rallied in the streets holding up pencils in protest to say that that voice would not be silenced either. Rights and that work is important around the world in a democracy, and it's important here at home as well. Since 1814, there has been a newspaper in Glasgow. I don't even think there were in Glasgow in 1814.
Yes, there were.
I'm not sure. We started our voice in 1865, and this is a copy, one of the last remaining copies of the very first edition. The University of Kentucky was founded, just to give you some history to do this work and get it right. This was before Rupp Arena. This was before Rupp. This was 26 years before Naismith invented basketball. We've been telling the stories of this community, and we're very proud of it. The methods that we tell the story now have Bingham by nicely, even by the mighty Rupp. We still have an audience that's as robust as ever because we have new tools that many of you enjoy to tell those stories. The reason that we've succeeded for us to reach you is the best and the brightest in the market. That's why we think you're pretty special. In the end, it's been about you, and it's been for you. Your lives, your stories, and your times. Tell your stories. Thank you for letting us serve you for 150 years.
Thank you, Keith. The focus of our January meeting, as you know, is the state of the community. So at this time, Executive Michael Hill.
Well, thank you. This is new to me. I usually have to follow Mayor Doty, so he puts on a pretty good show when he goes first. So I'm usually a loss for words. When I to introduce my staff, Sherry Jones, Miss Nancy Houghton, these three get my day started. These three end my day. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for inviting me to be here. Our county is named Barron. and that word suggests being non-productive and lacking. But you and I know that is not true, and we are not going to believe that for 1 second. Absolutely won't be any stinking. Here today to say Barron County has many, many resources. And I would like to share some with you folks and remind you of others. We, with an assessed value of $2.5 billion, figures say over 43,000 of us call home. With 12 of those 500 square miles being for our water resources. Yes, our lakes, our Barron River, our creeks, our ponds, our springs, our branches, and our 1,869 farms, the remaining 488 acres. For our 16,000 homes, campus and facilities of our 4 educational school systems where over 10,000 students attend. For our manufacturing entities that employ over 19,000 workers, for grounds that host our Barron County Fair where 6,200 walk through the gate. For our 618.2 miles of roads that takes us from one end of the county to the other. For our county clerk's office with records going back to 1798 that collects over $10 million annually. For our jail, it's 70,000 hours per year, saving our county over $500,000 per year. For our sheriff's department that responded to approximately 10,000 calls in our county. For our that responded to 8,570 2014, and now since the first of the year have made 393 today. And let's not forget the most important thing. We're number 1 in hay production, milk production, cattle production. So I want to say thank you for making. Back in the fall, I promised that I would listen to your concerns and develop and promote working relationships. Having been in office for only a couple of weeks, I have witnessed a spirit of cooperation. That's heartwarming, and for it I am grateful. I assure you that I will continue seeking the best for the best, and the best is Barron County. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to welcome
Ernie swore to me that this technology would work, so let's see if he can actually pull it off. Yes, you did. I want to thank, while he's working on that, I want to thank my staff and the city council members for being here to recognize you all. They didn't have to come, they get to hear me speak all the time. For the work that you all do. How's it going, Ernie?
I don't know. You tell me. There's a blue line on it.
It's on the screen.
Okay, when it gets to 0, it blows up. Is that it? Yep. Is that it really right?
That's not a part of my
America.
Get nothing out of this. December of 2013. When I announced my candidacy, I just need just a second. 2013, gas prices were $3.29 a gallon. Historically, State of the Union, I've been doing a little bit of research on this, and they're both difficult to deliver and difficult to attend. During one of the Bush years, a great deal was made out of the fact that the address and Groundhog's Day fell on the exact same day. And as Air America Radio pointed out, it is an ironic of events. One involves a meaningless ritual in which we look to a creature of little intelligence for prognostication, while the other involves a groundhog. I resemble that remark. And on this particular webpage that I found this remark, there was also a link to the top 10 State of the Union address drinking games. Now, I'm not sure if the bar is open back there. If it's a little bit too early for you, that's okay. Michael Hale is not afraid to change the meeting time to suit his own fancy, so maybe he can move this meeting next year to an afternoon time slot. State of the city. Class is still open and trash is still being picked up by city employees, so just kidding. Michael and I did this, and we both kind of agreed that we were much more prepared to give than we are the State of the City address. But here we go. I'm going to give you just a few highlights of the city business. Obviously, the police department has been the area of greatest attention of my time in office, and we're working currently to kind of give you an update to finalize the formal plan for the hiring of a permanent police chief. They have a group there that works strictly with law enforcement agencies, and I'm going to be relying heavily on them to help us. What that process looks like is still evolving. They have done this, and the point that they continually have stressed with me in our early meetings was, do not rush that process. So we will, if at all possible, take their advice there. I feel extremely comfortable and confident with the job that he's doing there. So I think that's going to allow us the time that we need to work. He's conducting a comprehensive audit of that department with the help of 2 other outside law enforcement agencies, to ensure that we can begin this term with full accountability. The chief is in an attempt to provide transparency. I met with all of the police officers across all 3 shifts, I believe it was last Friday, and their morale was quite impressive. They've been beat down in the recent days, as I'm sure most of you know. You today to encourage them when you see them to rebuild your trust, because that is their objective. The fire department, funding for the 3rd fire station, as it has been called, is in process. There's a no-interest loan that is offered through the USDA for us. The plan for that station is to be donated to us by Felker Brothers. on the corner of Beaver Trail and the Outer Loop. Earlier this year, the city received a Class 2 ranking from the Insurance Services Organization. That's services throughout the country, and they gave us a Class 2 rating, and that puts us in the top 1 percentile in the nation as far as our fire protection services are concerned. So they've done a tremendous job there, and we applaud them, the water company and 911, for the services that they provide us. I bet that in recent years, Paul, the state of the city address, but I had a personal experience with those people a few weeks ago, and I want to tell you that there is no way that you will get any better service or attention from a group of similar. Thank you, Paul, and your group for the work that you do. 40 more years of service available in that site there, so we should all have time to get our orders in. The Plaza Theater, I recently received an all-access tour of the Plaza Theater, and I tell you that if you have not done that, the programs there are expanding, and the bottom line is improving each and every year. The city's portion or their contribution to that facility has decreased each and every day, and that's a testament to the work that they are doing there. If you missed Dr. Walton Shirley hammering it in those white go-go boots at the Woodstock event, you owe yourself. Jennifer and the board are in a fundraising mode at the moment in an attempt to remodel what they're calling the Casablanca room, which is a room upstairs that will be used for special events. So I would encourage you again to go and take that tour. Jennifer would love to show you around. She'll put you to work as a volunteer and also ask you for a donation one. Opportunity. The Parks and Rec Department, Eddie Furlong and his group, Eddie heads that group, they received an award from the Kentucky Recreation and Park Society this last year where they were named the Outstanding Department, Class 2. Pretty special deal, seeing as that group only gives 2 such awards. Eddie himself was named the Professional of the Year from that same society. So we're proud of him and the efforts that he has brought about in the last 12 months. One of the big undertakings of the Parks and Rec crew is the ball tournaments that they put on each summer. Last year, they had 13 of these. This year, they already have scheduled 18 for those parks, so keep your fingers crossed that we have some good weekend weather. And congratulations to Eddie and his department for those fine awards. I thought I was thinking that you might still be awake at this point in the speech, but stuff here with the water company and the EPB. I want to give you just a little bit of information about them. I know they don't get in front of this group and provide information about what they've got going on, so I want to give you just a little bit about them. For the coming 12 months. Otherwise, but I would greatly appreciate if you all would be advocates for them in the community in the coming days. The water company distributes 2.8 billion gallons of water in a year's time. They maintain 883 miles of water pipe, 48 miles of sewer pipe, and if you think about that, it's only 750 miles. They maintain over 883 miles of water line, so a tremendous feat for that group. They recently received the Wooden Bucket Award, and before you laugh at that, that actually is the highest award given by the Kentucky Rural Water Association. So that's a pretty big deal. And then also to give you a little bit more confidence in the state recognition for the quality of the water, and that they were recognized for providing water that is 3 times above the goal that was set by the State Water Board or the State Division of Water. So we get some pretty outstanding water. No need for the They currently have over $11 million worth of projects underway. So you can imagine how good the water's gonna be when they get done with those $11 million worth of projects. Melinda over my picture 36 times. 15 days. Michael's already left. That's fine, I just wanted, if y'all can help me with this, I'll start with across the street and go his office. Billy Ray has actually helped give me a little bit of relief with the media the last few weeks as he's been in negotiations with cable programmers, and I appreciate that help. But he has been able to make deals with the programmers. You've seen that in those negotiations and deals have allowed to enjoy the lowest cost cable television services in the United States. By us owning our own broadband network and cable television services, we will again save over $2.5 million when compared to neighboring counties that do not own that infrastructure. On the page, you will have undoubtedly noticed their efforts to focus us on peak demand periods. You might think that they're getting all wadded up about nothing, but that will have a large effect on all EPB customers. Customers will actually pay for it. Crazy idea, but you will actually pay more for electricity during those peak demand periods because it costs more during those peak demand periods. So it's going to be something that we will all want to pay attention to in the coming days, and they will send out alerts and things like that to notify you so that you can make adjustments. It's also built quite a reputation within the industry for their willingness to participate in and their ability to conduct research projects with new technologies in our homes and in our businesses. And that reputation has facilitated their application for some large-scale projects that are up and coming, hopefully. The idea board, and we're closing in on the end here. The idea board, you may have seen in the newspaper in the recent days, Judge Hale and I have been to Frankfurt, and we met with the economic development group there, and I believe that trip was quite beneficial. As I said the other day in the newspaper, it was quite amazing to see 15, 16, 17 of those simply to meet with Glasgow and Barron County representatives, and we were very appreciative to Dan Iacone and the work that he does here. Dan is a lot like Waldo. Good luck finding him in any of those pictures or seeing him out front of any of those activities. He does a tremendous job for Glasgow and Barron County. A few weeks ago actually, WKU hosted a workforce development summit. Dr. Ransdell and Sally Ray put that together, and they brought in local existing businesses to meet with the educational institutions of our area to try and design programs, hear needs, and make adjustments to their programs so that we, with the education that our future workforces are getting at the time, and making adjustments to those so that we're sure that we have the workforce that's needed to meet those. John Bevington was here. He's actually the deputy commissioner. Again, a pretty big step. We're also excited that he knows who Glasgow and Barron County are. So, skip on down as quick as I can. Currently, we are a work-ready. We've seen those signs. We're working, and a lot of that is work through the educational institution so that in-process falls off, and we are a work-ready community. Those efforts are taking place, and again, some of the things that you don't see that Dan and the IDEA group are working on, and we appreciate that because that is a significant designation for us. The street department and the landfill, the last thing I've got on the list, the methane generator. Remember, that is where we take natural methane gas that is naturally generated, collect that, run it through a generator, and generate electricity, and sell that back to Eastern Kentucky Power. And that process, or that electricity and checks back to the city from that. The first leg of the bicycle trail that is planned to make a loop around the city with spokes, if you will, back to the downtown to enhance the ability to walk or bike in and around Glasgow and back into downtown. It's underway. That has been approved. We're in the design phase. We're in the design phase of that process, and construction should begin with us contributing labor from the street department in the coming days. So with that, fill her up with unleaded. Thank you.